Boa tarde, né? Eu falando sem o microfone, cara. Ai, ai, meu. Vamos ver aqui, né? Evento novo. Vai ser bem curto, tá? Porque não tem diálogo. Vou deixar falar automático já. Não pode um evento desse não ter diálogo. Um diálogo, né? Tem só legenda. Vambora, né? Eu vou fazer a missão, então não importa muito não. Quem é você? Aquele que já nos encontramos antes, sim? É, você é nova, sua nova roupa é linda. Você fala tão bem agora. Vou pular isso aqui, né? Eu quero ir pra missão principal. Tô sem paciência. Ainda mais que não tem fala. Eu quero jogar. Delivery fica talvez pra noite, hein? Se tivesse pelo menos falando, deixava. Haha, isso que a gente sabe fazer. Tem algo que podemos ajudar? Sempre tem algo que a gente tem que fazer, né? Então só pula. Pra gente conhecer. Muito bem, hora de um novo jogo. Agora começa, né? Arqui- Outro arquivo. Então bora, né, velho? Hoje zero paciência, cara. Ó, pressione nos retratos dos personagens, dos pequenos cogumelos, ou utilize o botão pequeno cogumelo que você está controlando. Além disso, você pode usar botões de selecionar todos para todos os pequenos cogumelos de uma vez. Pressione em qualquer lugar do campo e componente ordenar, porque isso aqui a gente já sabe, né? Isso aqui a gente já sabe. Só que eu esqueci. O que é o 5? Ah, eu troco o personagem, né? Eu tô usando um ainda, pô. O que é o 5? Ah, todos fazem a mesma coisa. Entendi. Bate nesse. Tá. Tá bom. Cara, tô com sono. Não sei por que tô com sono uma hora dessa. Vamos, deixa eu jogar. Realmente sou assim tão bom, gentileza. Não te leva a lugar nenhum, leva sim. Eu quero ir trabalhar, posso? Tô pulando tudo, né? Só quero fazer as missões, né? Eles nem tenha todas aqui, hein? Só foi lançada há 4 dias, então... Já bora ajuste. O que é isso? Pressione o cumulativo para trocar para unidade selecionada. É só o começo, agora que começa a bagunça, né? Tá. Eu me lembro brevemente aqui quem eu mais usava, cara. Nossa, lembra? Eu me lembro que eu usava... Pensando aqui. Vamos assim, né? Nem sei se é bom, velho. Não me lembro. Ah, vai todo mundo fazer a mesma coisa aí, velho. Esses 5... Tem um cara aqui, ó, velho. Não entendi os 5, tá todo mundo... Eu tô fazendo nada, deixa eu ver se eles estão atacando sozinho. Todo mundo atacando sozinho. É bem fácil, hein? Bem fácil. Não senti dificuldade. Pô, molezinha desse jeito, nem quero saber se eu quero jogar. Eu peguei um elétrico, agora que eu percebi, achei que esse bicho era de... Era outras coisas. Sai. Meu amigo, que perigo, hein? Eu peguei um de elétrico. Porra, todo mundo sai desse negócio aí, velho. Claramente isso vai acontecer. Sai, 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 sai. Meu Deus. Cura vocês aí, velho. Vai ter pegado um bicho de... Bate aí, velho. Vai. Agora ele tá ferrado. Tá todo mundo batendo no cara, não tá? Sai, 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 sai. Nossa. Tô morto. Não consegui tirar você. Pra puxar todo mundo junto é interessante. Eu preciso... Ah não, tô resgatando tudo, né? Acho que não vai ter todos aqui não, né? Aí, ó, só vai ter até esses dois aqui. Por favor, faça todo. Eu tenho que fazer alguma outra coisa pra continuar. Após um tempo, você chega até a stand. Tá, não quero saber isso não, só quero fazer o evento ali, velho. Tô rushadão, né? Acho que vai dar tempo de a gente fazer a missão ali, velho. Lendária que tá lá. A lendária a gente vai na calma, né? Essa daqui, você História aqui não muda muito a nossa vida não, né? Danada. Aí, agora eu posso ir. Agora é só de água. Já ataca tudo, velho. Eu peguei um de gelo, né? Acho que eu fui burra, que a pegada elétrica o meu era melhor, eu acho. Né? Acho que ia ser muito melhor, hein? Eu não entendi aí do 5. Eu sei que é pra fugir, né? Mas eu não entendi ainda. Quando eu aperto o 5 quando todo mundo tá com o negócio ativado. Tá lagado? Não sei. O de gelo ali foi troll, velho. Tá bom. Bem fácil, bem fácil. Esses dois aqui é só depois, né? Só depois. Tem um bichinho aqui, eu nem sei qual é da dele, velho. Então, como a gente não sabe, é outro boss, né? Esse 5 vai ser bom pra fugir, ó. Meu amigo. Sai daí, caramba. Cadê meu 3 aqui que não quer se curar? Proibido se curar, né? Porra. Porra, tem que tirar todo mundo. Sai daí, sai daí, sai daí. Vai morrer. Morreu. Na moralzinha, hein? Porra, todo mundo tem que focar assim, pô. Bate todo mundo, é. Vem pra cá, vem pra cá, vem pra cá, vem pra cá, vem pra cá. Sai, 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 sai. Tô apertando o botão errado. Boa. Acabou. Pera aí. Acabou. Agora é só amanhã. Só amanhã pra terminar. Armamos tudo, né? Já que tá aqui, vamos continuar essa cicatriz aqui, velho. É a missão lendária do carinha. Vamos continuar. Aonde? Um lugar que eu não sei onde é. Área administrativa. Disse que é aqui, ó. Na área administrativa. E aqui tá dizendo que tem que subir. É subir. Vamos continuar essa missão aqui. Foi bem rápido, né? Então...
Deixa o like e inscreva-se para ajudar o canal.
Tô lá do outro lado. Tá um calor, né? Informe os resultados da investigação. Isso aqui é antigo. Continuar essa missão, né? Deve estar no canal aí, velho. Em uma das lives eu fiz essa missão, né?
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network. According to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol in Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remains should belong to Vautrin.
Oh. So the network was inspired by... Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us talk to him first and get to the bottom of this situation.
Sobre uma nova luz. Até o escritório do carinha. Dá TP logo, né? Escritório do Duque. Dia 19 vai acabar o negócio aqui, né? Mas eu não tenho interesse nenhum aqui, velho. Nenhum. Já tenho, talvez ele, mas tô afim não, velho. Tô com muitos campeões pra upar aí, por enquanto agora. Tô com muitos campeões pra upar, velho.
Adventure time. Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Hassan has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
you decided to take revenge on the Melazines? Over that?
A ignorância não é uma desculpa, por sinal, você não tem salvação.
My initial target was Nervilet. Everyone in the forces of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against them, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force her to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Jueyun, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Nervilet, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Nervilet, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on. People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
Tragédias como essa não vão se repetir.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of
soninho
fact,
bom.
I
Da
believe
tarde.
that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well. While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
Você não vai...
Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
Yep. Neverlet thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What?
Ele não odeia o Neuvillette?
During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have
É
anything
sempre
to say?
assim, né? Muita
Now's your chance.
história.
I don't have anything to say, apart from expressing my gratitude, that is. Well then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
Please, take care.
Será que vai ter ação aqui, velho? Duvido, hein? Mas... Sob uma nova luz, siga Neuvillette.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe
E
I
anda
now
devagar em
understand what
Neuvillette.
he wanted to tell
Toda
me.
vontade aí, né?
I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any comments?
What I really think is,
A voz dele
every
é
trial
rara,
you've
eu
ever
vejo.
judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
Como um rei dragão iro, Neuvillette ainda pensa em si como um forasteiro devido à sua identidade. Mas tanto tempo se passou desde então, talvez as linhas entre ele e os humanos há muito
That is
tempo.
indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
it's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Maripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past. Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy, so I asked her to stay inside the Palais. It's very safe in there.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled. To celebrate this joyous occasion, Monsieur Neuvillette, would you be interested in an exclusive interview?
That's not how you celebrate.
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes! Thank you so much, monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Não terminamos. Retorne. Eu achei que a gente tinha terminado, velho. Depois que deu aquela cutscene ali, acho que a gente tinha terminado, velho. Eu já fiz o evento aqui, tá? Só tem amanhã agora. Mas eu já fiz, velho. Ai. Vamos ver aí, né?
Off we go.
Tá bonito aqui. Tem que falar com ela?
Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. I can't remember. My memory isn't that good, so I easily forget things. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? I haven't seen her in a long time. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, "Kiara, our dreams have finally come true." I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Monsieur Neuvillette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot! Am I allowed to go out now? I promised to model for Alof.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur, Traveler, and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
Aí, agora sim a gente concluiu, né? Cicatrizes. Completo. A gente só tem essa agora aqui, ó. A dele ainda tem a dela ainda, só que eu não vou resgatar agora não. Deixa eu ativar isso aqui, né? Amanhã a gente continua isso aqui. Vou ter que voltar mesmo. Eu acredito que amanhã seja bem rápido, por causa que só tem 2 só. Se tudo der certo, amanhã a gente volta, véio. Foi curtinho, né? Mas obrigado mesmo que acompanhou. Se você gostou, deixa o like, se inscreve no canal, vai ajudar muito, valeu mesmo. Fiquem bem, talvez à noite eu compareça aqui, a gente continua o deliver, né? Valeu mesmo, fiquem bem, até logo e foi.